I remember now that there were a couple of stories from that we discussed before coming on air that I really wanted to cover before this episode ended. So we're gonna we're gonna have this grading experience for the audience of going back to your book, but maybe that's a nice place to end anyway. Um, and so, first, what I wanted to talk about, and so you guys may or may not be aware of this, but in 2025, two of the biggest sponsors of this podcast, to whom we're very grateful because it allows us to keep the lights on and make this show for everyone, are Dell and NVIDIA. And it sounds like for the appendix of your book, Dell and NVIDIA, you had some kind of partnership with them that allowed you to do more. explain how they were involved with your book.
Yeah, so at a certain point, I got a LinkedIn message from NVIDIA. It was something about being an influencer, and at first I didn't think much of it. After, a week or two, I decided to reply like, "All right, I'm interested. Let's chat." And it turned out that they actually wanted to collaborate with us. They were quite eager to send us some hardware so that we could benchmark Polars on the GPU. And we're like, great. Only thing is, we don't have anything to put that video card in. So that's when they brought in their partner, Dell, and Dell was able to supply the rest of the hardware. Yeah, so that was a fantastic collaboration. And the way we did this is, Thijs can say more about the software side of things, but in terms of hardware, it was all in the States. So Dell had this laboratory where they had, a beefy machine, and they were able to swap out, different NVIDIA video cards. So we did the RTX 6000. No,
ADA generation.
The ADA generation. So these were all professional video cards, not the consumer.
Yeah,
level.
so the workstation variant.
Yeah. So we were. Was very important for us that we were able to benchmark things ourselves. That we wouldn't just copy numbers from some leaflet, right? Some promotional material. We wanted to produce these numbers ourselves if we were going to put them in our book. And, that was all fine. NVIDIA and Dell thought it was a great idea. And so eventually we were able to try out 5 different video cards for a number of different settings and packages. And that's all reported now in the appendix of the book. But Thijs, maybe you can say something about how you actually benchmarked.
Yeah. So to start off with a little more context is that NVIDIA has a team called Rapids, which is working on creating all kinds of general purpose computing packages that can run on the CUDA platform. And CUDA is like the platform, calculation platform that NVIDIA opens up so you can run any kind of calculation effectively on the GPU. And the difference between normal CPU and GPU is that GPU has many relatively dumb, simple processors, but just many of them. So if you are able to bend a calculation problem into something that the GPU can run, it oftentimes accelerates by a lot, by a factor up to 10. So they also did this for packages like Pandas. They have QDF is what their package is called. It's a data frame library, but runs on the GPU. And they wanted to collaborate with Polars as well. But since Polars has this layered architecture where it runs through an optimizer first and only then gets sent to an engine, it would be a waste to just put the Polars API on QDF and just translate it to normal QDF functions, because a lot of the performance enhancements from Polars comes from its optimization. So instead, Rapids worked together with Polars and designed a GPU engine that gets input from that optimization layer. And because they recently opened up a beta for this new package, they got in contact with us to ask like, hey, you guys are working on the book of Polars. Do you want to collaborate? And we said, well, with the terms that we could test stuff ourselves and benchmark ourselves, we definitely said yes, because it turned out to be a lovely collaboration as well.
That's a cool story.
Yeah, definitely.
And
So
what were the results? Is that what you're going to tell me now? Please tell me the results.
It's a lot faster. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we already noticed that, like in the beginning, the promotional material was a bit careful with what kind of size of data set it would be beneficial from, and it turned out from the test that we were doing that it's quite quickly already. Because you have a bit of because data needs to be transferred to the GPU, you get a small overhead. So you start seeing the difference when the data set size grows, but it's already from 1 gigabytes and up. So it's relatively quickly because most data that you would work with in a professional setting usually tends to grow a lot. And we also noticed that like even the relatively, you'd say, smaller GPU cards with less processors already benefit a lot from this already have a big speed up from just using the GPU engine.